Good afternoon and welcome to Nutmeg Sports. It is show ho ho time on the HAN network. Frank Granito and Kevin Coleman in studio doing our best to spread holiday cheer from our studio to your home.
I think we're looking good today. I think, I wouldn't mind wearing this for maybe another day. I know this is going to be our final show before Christmas, but I think we look good in these. These are some sharp suits.
Maybe we roll up to Darien tonight in these, and no disrespect to our other co-hosts, but Nutmeg Sports, best dressed of the day.
Without a doubt. We have to get the award. Stamp of approval, all right?
All right, so we've got a lot to do today. Obviously, there's hockey from last night to cover. We've got basketball coming up tonight. Looking ahead to the holiday weekend, a lot going on in the FCIAC right now, a lot of interconference play going on, and let's jump right into it, Kevin. We were at the Darien Ice House, New Canaan right now. They are hoping for the end of interconference play after a beating last night against Hampden.
Well, you look at those first two periods, and especially I thought New Canaan played great, especially that first period. They came out getting a big, quick goal there to start the first period, start the game off. Frank Granito, 2 quick goals from him. Then Hampden ties it at 1, then bounce back right away. They get another goal and make it 2-1. It went back and forth, but it's that third period. I think you really started to see Hampden come to its own. That's the second game in a row now. They did that against Darien over the weekend. Now they do it last night against New Canaan. This is a very strong Hampden team. I think New Canaan certainly has to work on their defense.
We describe it as a beating, and that's purely on the scoreboard, a 12-6 final in this one. But for me, it was 2-2 at the end of one, and it was a period New Canaan probably could have gotten out of ahead 2-0.
Right.
6-5 at the end of 2. Give credit to Hampden. They made some big plays. They capitalized when New Canaan got into penalty trouble, but you're still only a goal behind Hampden heading into the third. And then you started to see the inexperience of the Rams. We talked until we were blue in the face yesterday about plays at the blue line. A lot of sloppy turnovers, poor decisions by New Canaan led to Hampden goals late in that game, which really blew that score a little out of proportion.
Yeah, I was talking to Clark Jones during the intermission breaks, and you could tell he was getting frustrated as the game went along. And talking to him in between the second and third periods, he was not happy, and he wants his team to manage the puck better. And he didn't really see. He saw them do that in the first period. Then it kind of went away, and he was saying that they're giving Hampden too much of the center of the ice. Hampden's able to go through, get some great opportunities in the slot. New Canaan not able to dump the puck back. Just those second and third periods, a little bit of a sloppy play. You want to see things get tightened up, but ultimately didn't show. But again, another unfortunate loss for New Canaan, who, you're right, inexperience showed last night. But at the same time, I think they do show promise. I'm not knocking New Canaan at all.
I thought there were a lot of positives.
Yeah, I think this is a team that really can go far once they fix these little things. And the younger guys on this roster are getting some great experience right now. I know these are some tough losses that they've faced. Losing 3-2 against Notre Dame West Haven, it's a good loss. This one last night, 12-6. Unfortunate, but I do think that these 2 losses are going to go a long way for New Canaan and learning-wise.
And listen, Hampden is a very, very good team. You saw their depth on display last night. You had 4 players with at least 3 points. Tyler Ruth picks up his second hat-trick of the season, which is huge. For New Canaan, again, I think the positives ultimately will outweigh the negatives when you take away from this game. And the negatives right now are all very fixable. That's the big thing for me is you're making mistakes that, well, at least you're not outmatched. You're not being out-athleted. You're not being just a step behind everyone. You're skating stride for stride with some of the best teams in the conference here. So I think there's a lot working in the Rams' favor right now. So things will get better. A big positive, too, that line of Arnone, Knightley, and Lewis. They played a lot of quality minutes, and I thought they had a very strong game getting their first big ice time situations.
Yeah, I thought Griffin played a great game last night, Griffin Arnone. I thought he had a really strong game, skated well, had some good opportunities, put some pucks on net. Some went in, some went in. But again, you look at what New Canaan did, and that's something that Clark Jones liked, is that he liked how the Rams were attacking the net. They're putting pucks on net. They just ran into Steven Turner, who had some nice saves last night. If he doesn't make a few of those, maybe it's a bit of a closer game. Maybe you're looking at 12-11, 12-10. But again, they're putting pucks on net. So that's the one positive that he kept saying. And, one more thing is that again, they got a power play goal. That's what he's happy about, Clark Jones. The power play wasn't successful last year. He's happy to see them get 2 power play goals so far this year.
One thing that might be misconstrued, you see 12 goals on the score sheet there, but I thought Jack Spain played very well. A couple of them late he probably wants back, and the defense let down a little bit, but I thought Spain had a very strong game through these first 2.5 periods and kept New Canaan in it as long as they did. Let's look at the highlights from last night's game. We are going to start in the first period, just 2 minutes in, open in the slot, Gunnar Granito, and that's a no-doubter as he goes bar down. It is 1-0 Rams early on after the junior captain on the board. Fast forward 10 minutes, turnaround shot here, opportunity for A.J. Luday, and just like that, Hamden responds. But it would be met again. Puck around the net. Eric Simino on it, out in front. Open in the slot is Gunnar Granito. His second of the night, 2-1 Rams. It would not stay that way. Let's go ahead now. The Rams chasing in the second. 2:10 remaining in the period. Walker Kerr, 5-on-3 advantage. What vision to the back door. Easy goal for Simino. His second of the night, now 5-5. That's about as close as it would get, though, for New Canaan. We fast forward ahead. This one already out of reach. Tyler Ruth able to find a rebound. Makes it 10-6. His second hat trick in as many games to start the season. Again, Hamden would go on. The final in that game, 12-6. The Green Dragons now 2-0. I saw a CTHS hockey tweet, Kevin. Good one here, too. First time since 2013, 2014, Hamden has swept Darien and New Canaan. I'm still checking the record books on this one, but I'm interested to see.
How'd they finish that year, do you know? 2013,
2013, 2014. They might have been a state finalist, if not a state champion.
They look like it so far.
They really have. And then I'm interested to see now, you've got Darien, New Canaan Saturday. When was the last time these two teams played 0-2?
That's a very, very good point. I think you're going to see a 10 a.m. special on Saturday morning. This is going to be a lot of fun between two teams who are eager to get that first win. I think you're really going to see a close one Saturday.
It's definitely going to be a lot of fun. And, you know, just one final thought on last night. Again, we talked about New Canaan's big line is going to do what they do. Simino and Granito, again, combined for 4 goals now. And, you know, they've got 6 total on the season between the two of them. The Rams have scored 7 total on the year. So it's depth scoring. It's depth scoring now that they've really got to be concerned about and make their mark with here.
Yeah, that first line is so important. I really liked how Gunnar and Eric played last night, Simino and Granito. You look at Simino's goal, beautiful pass from Walker Kerr on that 5-on-3. That's got to be a positive for New Canaan. They looked pretty on that power play, I have to say. Even though they had a 2-man advantage, I thought that was a really good power play setup for Walker Kerr to Eric Simino right in front of the net. Beautiful pass. They looked good at times. There is promise with this New Canaan team. I will say it here. I like their chances once they get into conference play. I really do think they're still going to be in postseason play once it's all said and done.
All right, so you asked the question, when was the last time that Hamden had swept Darien? How did they finish? Not a great season for Hamden. They end up as the 14 seed that year. Darien, however, a state finalist, losing 2-1 to Fairfield Prep in overtime.
I think you're going to learn a lot about these two teams on Saturday.
Absolutely, 100%. We're going to learn a lot more about Prep and Darien when we get back. The Jesuits out with a vengeance. They take down their second FCIAC team in as many games. Kevin and I will break it down after the break on a special Christmas episode of Nutmeg Sports.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to coastalorthoct.com. Like them on Facebook.
Alpine Limousine is New Canaan's premier global transportation solution. Experience the finest in personalized transportation services in our pristine fleet of 2017 model year cars, with the area's most well-trained and vetted staff of professional drivers. Call us today at 203-966-4111.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to coastalorthoct.com. Like them on Facebook.
Alpine Limousine is New Canaan's premier global transportation solution. Experience the finest in personalized transportation services in our pristine fleet of 2017 model year cars, with the area's most well-trained and vetted staff of professional drivers. Call us today at 203-966-4111.
All right, I can answer my question for you now, Kevin. Back on Nutmeg Sports, Frank Granito, Kevin Coleman in the studio today. 2011, 2012, New Canaan 0-1, Darien 0-2. They met as teams without wins, going on to win that game 6-1, the Darien Blue Wave. So, not the last time these two teams met without a win to their name. That will be the case on Saturday, though, as Darien is coming off a 5-2 loss against Fairfield Prep. And boy, did the Jesuits look good.
They look good, and you talk about Hamden, who's looked impressive so far. How about the Jesuits putting a beat down on Richfield over the weekend, Saturday night at the Winter Garden, then coming and beating a very good Darien team as well. This Jesuits team is putting a message out to the state of Connecticut that they're going to be one of the top teams here when it's all said and done, especially postseason time. This is a very strong prep team. And, you know, top to bottom, you look at from their first line to their bottom line, their fourth line, a lot of good players here. And you look, one player in particular that I think is a strong player is Cole Castle, their senior defenseman. He looked, when I saw him over the weekend, Frank, you talk about a defenseman who can skate just as fast as the forwards up top. He can get up, put shots on net, but also get back in time and play, defend as well. This is a very strong hockey player, a very good piece here for this Fairfield Prep team.
One matchup I'm a little upset we won't get to see in the interleague play is Greenwich and Prep.
Yeah.
That would be a really, really good matchup. I think you could potentially be seeing a preview of a semifinal or state championship game between those two squads, but Prep right now looks like Prep of old, where they came into a season, they were going to dominate everyone, and they knew how good they were. They were going to be there at the end of the SEC, now SEC/SWC after the merger. They were going to be there in that tournament at the end of it, and they were going to be going to Yale in the final week of the season. That is how good they have looked these first two games. And again, Ryan Eckert, 2 goals last night, Kevin Orcoli, 2 assists. Devin Blanchett scores, Colin Bella scores, Skylar Soletto scores. The depth, like you talked about, top to bottom, Prep is competitive from the first to the last guy as anyone in the state.
Yeah, dominant is the key word there. I mean, you look at what they did to Richfield. They just outskated Richfield, and they got to the puck quicker. They just looked like the better team from start to finish. And last night being a very good Darien team 5-2 just shows, again, another dominant performance against a good Darien team for this Prep team. And Devin Blanchett is a good name you brought up. This kid's a playmaker. He's able to get by defenders, little dangle in there as well, nice little fancy work there, but also puts puck on the net and they go in. And plain and simple, he's a scorer, playmaker, does a lot on the offense for this Fairfield Prep team.
On the other side, too, you have to also factor in Jack McGee only had to make 16 saves, only faced 18 shots. So it talks about how they kept Darien in check. Darien and New Canaan is going to be a very interesting battle on Saturday, Kevin. I just think that obviously one of these teams is going to end up getting a win. I mean, God forbid we had a tie. Luckily we shouldn't. It's not soccer. But Robert Stewart scores, Hudson Picorni scores. They've got to just find a way to get that offensive flow going now. They've been a little stymied early on here. They've put themselves in bad situations with penalties. At some point for Coach Bud, these boys have got to just piece a good game together, and I think that's the first domino to fall that'll get this whole process started.
You're right. It will fall. It will go into place for this Blue Wave team. I'm glad you brought up the penalties, because on Saturday, you're playing your rival. Emotions are going to be high. 10 a.m. start on Saturday, the weekend game. You have to stay out of the box against New Canaan. We saw what they can do now on the power play. struggled last year. Now it looks like they're really coming to their own here in 2017, 2018. This is a team that, from what I saw last night, I know they were on the power play 3 times, 2 or 3 times. From that 5-on-3, they looked really, really good. I liked what I saw. And, you know, speaking of Clark Jones, he mentioned how last year they struggled a little bit, and he's working on that. And you can tell that what they're working on is producing on the ice.
The things are there. The big difference for me in this game, okay, if we're going to talk about 2 teams inexperienced and trying to find their own, there's a lot more experience through their careers of watching the Darien varsity program compared to some of these New Canaan kids. Their early years in their career, they were still trying to go through a coaching change and a rebuild as well.
Right.
You got a great run last year, but so much of it, excuse me, is just gone now. So that'll be tough. 10 a.m. start for that game. Kevin, John, myself, we're on the air with you at 9:50 Saturday morning from the Darien Ice House. A couple of other big games around the state last night. Greenwich, 5-2 at Bennett Rink. They take down the Westies of West Haven. Alex Mojian, boy, are they happy to have him back off of injury. 4 points last night, 2 goals, 2 assists. Sean Prattley scoring along with Dylan Madden and Nick Pelletier Martinelli. If Alex Mojian can stay healthy this year, Kevin, that is just, you're talking about someone who could arguably be a skater of the year here in Connecticut for Division I.
He's so dominant. Also got a little recognition last night in CTHS hockey. Got a nice little T-shirt for Player of the Game.
There you go.
Got to give Mojian some love there, but he's a phenomenal player. He's fast, boy. He's quick on the ice, and you know, he's going to be a player that a lot of these teams are going to have to worry about, no matter what time of the year it is. And he's going to be a reason why. There's many reasons why Greenwich is going to be there, but again, he's one of the big pieces why Greenwich is going to be in the postseason this year.
You talk about defensive players stepping up and contributing on the offensive side of the puck. Greenwich has got a lot of active defensemen. Pelletier Martinelli is a big one as well. Greenwich again, we're going to get our first look at them December 30th. At their outdoor game from the Greenwich Skating Club against Darien. What a fun day that's going to be. Join us December 29th, Friday morning. We're going to be live at their practice session from the skating club. So a lot of good things coming with them.
Heard you're getting on the ice.
I am going to get on the ice, teach these kids a couple of things. Maybe show someone how to drop the gloves, properly get the jersey over the top of the helmet. I still got it there. One more game I want to mention here before we go to break again. Notre Dame Fairfield shuts out St. Joe's 6-0. Good win for ND Fairfield, another program you want to see start to get back towards the top of Division I. They're a perennial power, and the league and the state are better off when they're there. For St. Joe's, they're still trying to find that replacement for Ryan Wilson.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, look, he had a great season last year. He was just so dominant. It's hard to replace a good goalie like that, but you like to think that these tough games, I mean, we spoke about it, especially this week, how a lot of these teams are playing, you know, everyone's playing a pretty solid team in Connecticut. You got to hope that these tough games that St. Joe's have been playing will be a learning experience once they get into conference play.
Again, a lot of time left before that. Newington shut out Norwalk McMahon. Wilton over Trinity 6-4. Staples and Branford a 3-3 stalemate. That is it for the boys hockey slate. Girls hockey, New Canaan topped Ridgefield 5-3. And that is how we send it to break. We're back. Basketball preview next on Nutmeg Sports. Go.
We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all. From Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Whether it's work or play, our Ram trucks get the job done with unparalleled style and performance. Call, click, or stop in to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck that you've been looking for. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. Save thousands at the Big Finish 2017. Now through December 31st.
At Galt, we always put you first. As your full-service home heating partner, we provide expert delivery, installation, and maintenance for all your heating needs with knowledgeable, friendly professionals that give you peace of mind 24/7. Galt Family Companies, you first since 1863.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Back on the HA Network, Frank Granito, Kevin Coleman. Looking ahead to our coverage of tonight's boys basketball, we have got Greenwich 0-2 on the year, traveling to Darien 1-0. Two of the interesting teams, I thought, from last year's conference, Kevin. Greenwich, led by Connor Harkins, so close to cracking that top 8. They were in it till the end of the regular season, just missed out on FCX. Got to go to the state tournament, though. Now they've got a big turnover on their roster. They travel to a Darien team that won their first ever division title.
Yeah.
Tough loss against Danbury, a very good Danbury team in the FCX tournament. How does the Blue Wave follow up their banner year with the program? So we're going to find out a lot, I think. This is a crossroads moment heading into the holiday break for both these schools.
It is. It's an important matchup for these two teams to go, you're right, to go into the break, to kind of learn about what kind of teams these two are. And it's interesting because they're actually kind of similar in a way because they're not – Darien certainly has a size advantage with Jack Tierney, 6'6", down the post. I mean, he's a presence down there. But for the most part, this team, height-wise, all pretty much around 6'2", 6'3". So it is going to be a good matchup of size and height and see how these two teams match. And they're all very athletic. You look throughout this roster, there are not only football players, there's lacrosse players, soccer players. These are just – and both captains, it was interesting how they both said during the, coming into the season how they both said, we have athletes. These teams can run up the court. They're fast. They can go in transition. They can move. The question is, can they score? That's the one question I have. Can they be dominant on the boards? Can they be able to put up points tonight early on? Greenwich is that one team that feels like with Captain Matt Robbins, he wants this team to move in transition and score quick this year.
And offense has been the issue to this point for Greenwich. They have not put up as many points as they would have liked in their first game, losing 58-46 to Stanford and then 65-37 versus ND West Haven. So defensively, I think they're doing what they want to be doing. Offensively, now you've got to figure out how to get it going. Running in transition tonight against a much taller, lankier Darien team could be the solution, but at some point in time, someone's got to step up, become that next Connor Harkins, and be a legitimate top scorer and scoring threat against the rest of the conference.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy.
It's not easy
to replace
you don't just sit there and
no, you can't replace a player who averaged 20 points a game. It's not easy. He was a terrific basketball player. I mean, sharpshooter. This guy could shoot the lights out in a gym. Any gym you want, he'll shoot. And it's going to be tough to replace him, but I think they have the players in set. They have guys who can come off the bench. First-year coach Philip D'Amato. I want to see how he kind of runs this team. I know defense-wise, I know coaches really want to emphasize on defense early on in the season, but it's now time. This is your third game. Really start to get a rhythm on the offense. Who's going to be that scorer? Who's going to be, the players who really get things going on the offensive side? Matt Robbins, Giannopoulos are two of the captains who are really going to light the spark here for the Cardinals. This is going to be a fast game. This is not going to be a snail's pace. These two teams are going to run up and down the court all night.
And listen, for Darien, these are games that if you want to have similar success to last season, you want to put yourself in position to potentially be the home team in an FCX game, get a favorable matchup, try to avoid the Trinities, the Wiltons, the Danburys, those kind of schools. These are games you have to win. And based on what you did last year, you've built this expectation now that this is a game we're coming in and we're supposed to beat Greenwich. We believe we're a better team. We're going to play on our home court, play our game, and they could beat them. If you're Darien, and probably not what we want to see sitting on the sideline, slow the game down.
Yeah.
Let Tierney go to work, sit down low in the post. He can have a field day doing whatever he wants down there. And that's going to be big for me.
You're right. For Tierney, you're right. He has to get involved in the post, really get things going down low in the paint, but he has to stay out of foul trouble. That's the one key for me. Just foul trouble for him. Play discipline, I think. It's so hard for a big guy, too, down low. You get picked on a lot from some of the bigger guys as well. It's going to be hard. For 6'6" guy, he's going to get picked on. But same time, keep your arms up, stay disciplined, don't get into foul trouble early because he needs to be on the floor in order for Darien to be successful.
And if anyone gets into foul trouble early, please, 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 as a Christmas gift to Frank, make your free throws tonight. That's just...
Don't worry, I'll let you know, by the way.
Christmas is some free throw percentages, you know?
The hashtag Frankie free throws has already been up today. I'll let you know.
Boy, here we go. Listen, you look at the conference early on here now. A couple of teams have played 2 games, some sitting at 1. Stanford, great start, 2-0. 2 games they're supposed to win. They did win. That's big for them. Danbury off to a hot start. We think they're a top 3 team by the end of the regular season. So the teams that are supposed to be winning games right now, they're taking care of it. Staples and Trumbull off to a really good start. We talked with Bill Bloxham, who saw Trumbull live. There was a lot of question how they're going to come back. Trumbull, great first game against Bullard Havens. He was very, very impressed. Darien got that win, as we mentioned. Trinity, 1-2. They're both out of conference losses. One of them in that Massachusetts tournament, so we're not going to read too much into that. But New Canaan, 1-0.
Look at that. New Canaan 1-0. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't look into...
It's way too early to be looking into any of these.
Richfield 0-1.
Ward and Wilton are both 0-1. At this pace, they're technically not winning a game this
Wilton's 0-1, yeah, exactly. It's early, but you're right. These are some games early on for a lot of these teams who we saw in the postseason last year for boys basketball. These are some games they not only need to win, but they have to win. You know, because some of these games early on we saw, for example, Greenwich. Those games early on last year that they lost really came back to bite them.
They do, especially when you get into the FCIAC. And I think for us, there's a big week in conference between, I think it is January, 16th or 17th through the 30th. And you will see a lot of them involve Wilton, but there are a lot of great crossover games, including Wilton Ward, Wilton Ridgefield. I believe Trinity plays against Danbury during that stretch as well. You're going to see a lot of the teams we expect to finish at the top of the conference this year. They are going to be playing each other then. So by that point in time, you got to have your team in a rhythm.
Yeah.
No one is winning FCX in December. You're not going to win it right out of the holiday.
Right.
Before the end of January, if you want to be a legit contender, I think you need to be playing your best basketball or close to it by the end of January. And then it's just a matter of who can sustain.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the battle for 1 through 8 is going to be a lot of fun because I think it's wide open again this year, and I think you're going to see some teams shuffle around again. Trinity Danbury, I like that matchup. Those are 2 teams who are really going to run and fly up the court. Denali Burton going up against Contavio Dutrell. That's going to be a fun matchup. A lot of great matchups coming up in January, so we're really looking forward to those games.
Listen, I'm not going to sleep on the Stanford Black Knights. I live down in the 09s. Right. I live in the 08-906. I'm on board with the boys. Listen, it's going to be a lot of fun. Basketball season really picks up for us. Next week, we've got girls basketball, the Todd Berger tournament from Fairfield Ludlow and Fairfield Ward. That'll be a lot of fun. And we're going to hit hard with the FCX basketball season towards the end of January there as they really get into a flow of it. So we got good things coming. But you're with us tonight from Darien High School, the Cardinals and the Blue Wave. Our first boys basketball broadcast. Kevin, other than pregame shows, we will not be back in here for Nutmeg during this calendar year. Your final words for our viewers at home.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year.
And that's enough. All right, for Kevin Coleman, I'm Frank Granito. We're back. 6:50 pregame show. Thanks for stopping by with us today. Fairfield Prep. Keep rolling in hockey, boys. It's impressive to see. We're happy to have you back at the top. Until next time on Nutmeg Sports on the HAM Network. Yeah, exactly.
Whoa. Nice little shout out to the